And we walked in and there was water all over. And it blew through those windows, through the 3rd Street windows.
Oh, okay.
And there was water everywhere. I mean, it was just a mess. So the hour that I had to do all those other things got eaten up cleaning that up.
Oh. Did you have a lot of stuff ruined?
Yeah.
Oh,
and everybody's business cards were on that table, so now I have to get everybody's business cards again. But you know what? It happens.
It happens. What are you gonna do?
There's nothing you can do.
Nope. What's done is, you can't unring a bell. What's done is done. You know, when it's done, it's done.
Right. So now the locksmith is here and he has fixed it.
That's not a vote of confidence.
Oh, isn't that my keys? I couldn't find the one that worked there. Oh, here they are. So keep talking for a minute,
okay.
Kristin.
Okay, we're gonna keep going as the locksmith works on the door.
So he's here today. I didn't have time to have him come on Friday, so I had to get in through the neighbors.
Oh, so you had to come through the back way. Okay, well, at least you had another way in.
Yes.
That was
I didn't have a key to that. I had to wait for somebody to come let me in that way. But it's all taken care of now, and it is what it is.
And now you just have to just rearrange and reassemble.
Right.
That's maybe you could change things around and make it better than before.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, they've got a lot of space in here.
So that's a good thing to talk about. So everything happens for a reason, right?
Everything happens for a reason.
And you have to deal with it.
Oh, you have to. What are you going to do? There are no other options. There's nothing else to do other than move forward.
Right.
You can't. You just go home and say, "Well, I'm never going back in. I can't get in." I guess that's.
Or
over.
I could have sat down on the couch and cried for a little bit.
That wouldn't have done you any good either. No, none of those things are productive. No, getting worked up. No, crying and stopping is not an option. It really isn't. It's not an option.
No,
to do.
it's not. It's not. And it almost became comical because it was so much. It was just one thing after another. Wow.
Really?
Yes.
I have a friend that says, "Really? Is this what we're dealing with here?" And I laugh every time. It's hilarious. Is this what we're dealing with here? Yep, that's what you're dealing with. It's and it's like when it really rains. When it rains,
literally it pours.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours.
Yes.
And then that happened to you. But yeah, it looks like you've got everything kind of put back together.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
It will.
And then tomorrow we have the Devolution show, so I really need to get this all finished today. And
what does that mean?
Tomorrow night is the Devolution show, and usually we have a studio audience for that.
Okay.
It's at 7:00, and we have a guest, a guest that people like to come and see.
Okay. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have everything together by then.
Yeah.
You'll have everything together.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Business cards aren't a hard thing, and
nope. So I have to send emails to everybody and ask them to replenish the business cards. Yeah, it'll get done. So what do you do? What are some of your coping skills when you're thrown buckets of rain?
My coping skills? Well, unfortunately, for one, it's eating. That's always been my thing. That's always been my go-to. Let's have some ice cream. That's a go-to. Or,
I should have called you. I
could have stopped and got some. Ice cream, eating, which is not good. That's not necessarily a positive. I do that. Like as I said, bubble bath if it's really bad. If it's really bad, I'm going to the.
A good bubble bath is a good cure for many, many things.
Oh, it is. It's tell you that is for years. I mean, like my whole life. That's my go-to when I'm really upset. And I take a stack of books and it might be tea, it might be wine. Who knows what I might take in with me? But that's my go-to is a bubble bath, and then reading. Reading is really important. That's important to me. Of course, I do that in the bubble bath.
So you kind of submerge yourself.
I do
in something.
Ice cream or bubble bath. I submerge myself. I do that, and then those are big things. For me and my friends. If it's if I need to talk it out. I will get a hold of a friend, whether it be a text or a phone call or actually saying, hey, we need to get together we need to get together, and then I'll make that happen. Where it's I need a a girlfriend to talk to. Friends, very, very, very important, because we can. I know that myself, as well as so many of us, we will retreat, and we will isolate ourselves, and I talk about that a lot. And that's the worst
when
thing you
you
can do.
isolate yourself, what do you just think about all the reasons why you shouldn't continue?
You mean like with my life, or?
Yeah, no. I mean with your mission or your
Oh yeah, definitely.
projects,
Yeah, definitely. That whole self-doubt comes in. Terrible. That the self-doubt comes in, and you feel like you're to hang it up. Oh, definitely.
I get that.
Lot. I get that a lot. Like,
and
does this matter? Yeah.
Sometimes it just helps just for somebody to listen to you. And that's why girlfriends, I think, are so important, because they don't try to solve anything.
No.
They just hear you out.
Yeah. And sometimes they do. And
sometimes they do,
and
they're
without
right. even knowing it.
And
too.
they're right.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes like, or I'll say, what do you think here? And they'll tell me, we'll talk. I really value my friends' opinions and ideas and thoughts and stuff. So yeah, I will ask. So it's, we, that girlfriends for sure. And, some people do a lot of things. They journal. People journal. People write.
That's one of my things. I write it out.
I write.
And I'll do a list of pros and cons. And
a list of pros and cons. That's good. That's very, yeah, I've done that. All of these things are, and especially as you get older, things change. Things change when you get older, and how you cope with things.
Yes, it does. Now I have to pay the locksmith.
Oh. That's a whole other show. That's his favorite part. That's his coping, to give me my money. No, I think everyone is different, and everyone does things differently. Some people, I have friends that they run, they will run, and they will, they exercise, they run. That would probably maybe a little better than bubble baths and ice cream, but that's what they do. They will run, they will exercise, walk, exercise. And some people, there's also things that people try to escape, I think, that are also not really all that positive, whether it be gambling, there's, that type of thing to escape. Or, I think that another coping thing we do, and I've done it, is, kind of get lost like in a Netflix
a jammy weekend.
Mm-hmm,
yes,
mm-hmm.
Yes.
I do love that. I do love a marathon. There's times that I've had just where I watch like Hallmark movies, and I'll binge watch a good Hallmark or I love those. They're cheesy, they're light. I love them. I can't get enough of them. So Hallmark movie is a great thing to do too, just to kind of, I guess, escape or relax.
Yes. Or chick flicks, yeah. Any kind of chick flicks.
Any kind of chick flick.
Right. So, and then, so after you do your soothing, your self-soothing, I like to call it.
Yeah.
What's the next step you take in coming back?
Oh, to come back? Usually action. Once whatever it is that you're worked up about is, if you take action, if it's something that's bothering you, that do whatever it takes to get moving forward past that. If it's, if it is, my nose itches today, I'm so sorry. I think action. I think once you've eaten the ice cream and you've taken the bath and you've done these things, I think there comes a point where you have to say, okay, that enough, and
right.
you've got to face whatever it is and take action. Whatever that is, you need to take action to make that, to resolve it.
Right, and I think that's part
forever.
of the journaling for me is then I make a comeback plan. You know what I mean? And then I start taking action. That's why I journal, I think, when bad stuff happens.
Oh, you journal.
I kind of evaluate what's going on. And it's easier for me, when it's on paper, it's easier for me to see why it happened.
Okay. You need to have a visual.
Yes.
You need to have a visual as to why. Okay.
And then I can make a comeback plan. And then I start taking action, which you're absolutely right. The universe loves action.
Yes.
And things get better much more quickly
You have to. I mean, you can only retreat for so long. You can only retreat for so long. You can only hide for so long, and then you can't stay there.
No.
It feels good for a minute, but you really can, no matter what it is that you have to face it, because if you don't, you can't. It isn't real life, and you have to be a big girl and get up and do what you need to do. And if it's something, whatever it is that you have to deal with, you just have to start to deal with it.
Yep. And life throws us curves all the time. And it's one of those things we talked about this in the beginning of the show about planning. You can make plan after plan after plan. Mm-hmm. And those plans don't always unfold the way that you had anticipated.
Oh gosh, they almost never do.
Right.
They almost
so you just kind of
never do. They almost never unfold the way
right.
that you think, and then
because you're not a fortune teller, know.
Well,
and as long as I think, yes, it's life. And as long as your intentions are good, you can go in the same direction, just not the same, maybe not the same means. You've had many setbacks and throwbacks and
many.
yes,
many.
As have I.
We all have it. And another thing that you can't do is you can't, dwell on it for, something that happened 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
No pity parties.
Well, after a while, it just doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you well.
Because you keep living in that, and that's what the universe is going to bring you, more of that.
More of that. And then, yeah, absolutely. And you live in that energy of it all.
Right.
You're living there. Well, it's done. It's over. It's in the past.
Move on.
Move on and let it go, as they say. And, not that it didn't happen, not that whatever it was didn't happen or it didn't hurt or any of that. It did. But, if you're worked up about something that's happened a decade ago and you're still living in that, you're not living your life now.
No,
you're not living.
You didn't allow yourself to grow and learn from it.
No, you're living there. It's just, it's not healthy. It's not, hold on. It just isn't, it isn't healthy. It is not healthy to do that. And that is one thing definitely is, and I've done it. I've done it. I've thought about things that have happened, and if you're angry about something, or you're living in that anger. Mm-mm.
Who's that hurting?
Yourself.
Yeah, it's not hurting
yourself.
the person you're angry.
You're hurting. Yeah, if you're worried about that other person, if it's a person that it is that you're worried about, that they're probably not even thinking about you. You're not even a thought, and you're not even thinking about you, and you're all worked up and mad. You're nothing to them, and yeah. So let it go. Let it go.
Right. I, as a coach, when I help people get from one spot that's negative to a spot that's positive. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I always say, and I know you've heard me say it before, yes, is that we all go through stuff. And one of the reasons that you go through something and you have to look back and see why you went through it is to help other people go through it too. You have to give purpose to your pain. Mm-hmm. There was a lesson to be learned.
Oh, there's always a lesson.
What did you learn?
There's always a lesson. In things that you think are good or you think things are bad, there's always a lesson. Mm-hmm. There's always a lesson to learn. And sometimes we don't want to learn it.
Exactly.
You don't want to learn the lesson. And there's times and then there's times like things keep happening. You're like, you know what? I've learned it.
Yeah, stop already.
You know what? I'm good. I'm good with this. I've learned the lesson. I'm good with this. And yeah, so you're like, I really have learned it. I don't want to keep doing this. And it kind of keeps showing up, and maybe we haven't learned it.
I think when that happens, mm-hmm, this is just my theory. Mm-hmm. I think that you haven't learned it yet. Or maybe you did learn it, but you didn't learn how to deal with it. Maybe. And you keep attracting that same thing back. It's like bad relationships. Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, yeah, I have a
it's the
friend
same
that I
thing.
said, you need an arranged marriage, or you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. You just need to have someone just tell you.
Screen them, yes.
You have them just. This is who you're going to be with, because I can't. It's almost impressive how bad she picks them, and it's amazing. And they're just so bad for her. Like, oh my, yeah, that's it's. Yeah,
So there's something,
lessons.
if she's attracting one particular type of person,